Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy IV 100%. I'm Circle Master, and it's time to get another 50 kills. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do from here on out, is 50 a day, rather 50 a stream. So I'm streaming twice today. I still wish I knew if there was a way to manipulate the seed to get certain battles. Where am I at in XP? I forgot. Whoops. Helps if I pick the right menu item. I'm actually pretty darn close. Close enough that I can probably expect a level today. Yeah, it's like 20 battles at that rate, so it's definitely less than 50. So, against my better judgment, I put in for the ticket lottery for the Netrunner World Championship in November. At the last minute. Since I think it's either closed now, like within the past 5 minutes, or about to close. Unless they extend it again. Despite the fact that I'm not great at the game, I do enjoy it. And, I can't really afford to spend the money on the trip. But I do have my new work schedule in a couple months to save up. It could work. I'm kind of amazed that none of the spells are hitting. Because I don't think her... Will this even say what Magic Evade is? Oh. That's 54% apparently. Or maybe it just doesn't show the animation if it would do no damage. But, I'm hoping it would be a fun trip. Now, I know a couple of my friends are going, or at least put in to go. Like, there's a guy I play with all the time at a local game store who literally plays every excuse me, every game that is being done at Worlds. This is Fantasy Flight Games Worlds, so it's like, it's Netrunner, it's Game of Thrones card game, LCG. They had all their Star Wars ones at a separate event. There's like Legend of the Five Rings, which is new, Rune Wars, which I think is fairly new. There's another one that I'm blanking out on. Yeah, it's like a bunch, it's all their LCGs and such. The smartest thing I did was, even though the lottery hasn't happened yet, I don't know if I'm even getting a ticket. I booked a hotel room. It's free cancellation policy, so if I don't get the ticket, I can just cancel. And if I do get the ticket, I have a room. There's no, I'm getting in ahead of the rush of people who get into Worlds and want to book the local hotels. It's in Minnesota. Res17 says, "What up, Circlemaster?" What's up is... Did I do the counter on that? I forget. I'll say that I did. I'm going for 50 kills, 50 Liliths. I'm gonna try to do 50 per stream. I'm talking about, I put in to get a ticket to World Championship for a card game called Netrunner that I play. The World, it's Worlds for short. Worlds is in early November. It's like the 1st through the 5th. Rez says, couldn't hear, what's the card game called again? It's called Netrunner. It's by Fantasy Flight Games. It's been around since like 2014. And it's a reboot of the old CCG from 1996 that I also used to play. When I say used to play, I mean bought cards for, because I could never find anybody to play the game with. Because everybody was into Magic back in those days. Res17 says, I lost my interest in cards, was strong for Magic and Pokemon back in the day. Yeah, well, the new Netrunner is one of Fantasy Flight Games. They're called living card games, or LCGs, where it's not random. They print, you know, the expansion packs, and they all have the same cards in them. So there's no stupid aftermarket or anything like that. Well, there is an aftermarket, but it's not based on rarity or anything like that. If you just buy the cards, then you have access to the card pool. So it is not a CCG. Which, on the one hand, makes it easier for you because you just buy the packs as they come out and you have the full card pool. And there you go. You don't have to hunt for rares or pay a bunch of money to get a certain deck list that does well. But on the downside, it started in 2014. And if you're a new player in 2017, you need to drop like $400 on card packs to get the whole card pool. And it's a really intimidating barrier to entry. Rez says, oh, not random. Interesting, I like that. That's why I can't get into Hearthstone. Gotta grind or buy new cards to catch up with people who have been playing. Rose says, and the barrier grows every expansion, I guess. Yeah. They are actually about to shrink the card pool officially. What they're doing is they release these little expansion packs in cycles. They've got, which is basically 6 expansions are a set or a cycle. And they are rotating out the first 2 cycles. So 12 data packs, which is what they call their expansions, are going to be no longer legal for tournament play, for official play. And they're hoping that will help control the card pool and kind of reduce the barrier. But they waited way too long for that. I mean, yeah, the first 2 cycles are rotating out, but there's still like 4 or 5 sets of 6 expansions that you have to, that are still going to be legal, that you still have to buy. I mean, it's been, like I said, it came out in 2014. It took over 3 years for them to start rotation. They waited way too long to do it. Like, it should have been the end of last year. Yeah, it's going to be weird because this rotation, the change to the card pool, is happening right before the World Championship. Not right after, right before. So, a lot of decks that are popular right now are not going to be legal anymore. And a lot of cards that are considered essential are not going to be legal anymore. Rez asks, are you in Worlds or just going as a spectator? I'm trying to get in. Previous years, it's been first come, first served, and the tickets sell out, and you're screwed. But this year, they decided to do a lottery, so I put in for the lottery. I will find out tomorrow if I get a ticket draw. And if I don't get it, I'm just going to cancel the hotel booking and not go. Because I would only want to go to play. You know, I don't want to spend, you know, $1,000, $1,500 just to watch other people play games. There's my level. So that makes it what, 80 now? Yep. It seems like the XP curve is flattened out because it's been 205, 206,000 XP to level for a while now. Rez says Minneapolis in November isn't all that much fun either. Lol. Yeah. I'm gonna have to pack accordingly, although honestly the hotel's like literally on the same block as the venue, and I'm sure the venue's going to have heating. So as long as I can bear the walk to the between the hotel and the venue, I'll be fine. Rez says, yeah, they got all those sky bridges, so you might not even have to go outside. They do? Like, I know at Gen Con they had sky bridges to the nearby hotels. But this is like at Fantasy Flight Games. It's like it's at their center. So I don't know if they have sky bridges or not. According to Google Maps, they don't, because Google Maps tells me to walk down the street. Rez says, oh lol, I don't know. I just know Minneapolis has lots of sky bridges in general. Yeah, it's not in Minneapolis, though. It's in a city called Roseville. I don't know how far away that is from Minneapolis. But I have the feeling that since I took the time to, and had the foresight to book the hotel room in advance, that means I'm not going to get a ticket. Because I'm only allowed to get a ticket if I have to scramble for a hotel room or something. And nobody think about the fact that I just remembered I needed to silence my phone. Because this is a professional streaming outfit right here. Rez says, please put your phones on silent during our feature presentation. Yeah, it's more about the fact that this stream is a shambles enough as it is. I don't need annoyances like phones going off and whatnot to contribute to the factors that would make people turn this off. There are already enough factors inherent to a 100% run to make people turn this off. Rez says F Dicktree, by the way. Preach it, brother. But yeah, speaking of people turning this off, I don't know what happened yesterday during my evening stream, but like towards the end, according to my app, my chat app, I suddenly spiked up to like 17 viewers and got 8 new followers on Twitch. So I don't know if it was like a mini raid or something like that. There was like nothing in the chat. You know, nobody said anything like this is a raid or spammed anything. So I don't know. And I didn't see anything like on social media or whatever. Because when I got on the front page of Reddit a while back, that was a huge spike in followers and whatnot. And I didn't see anything to justify the mini spike last night. So I don't know what happened. Rez says, yeah, I found you from Reddit a few weeks ago. Yeah, I appreciate that, it was actually like 2 Reddit posts, or 3, I forget. Yeah. Any followers, you know, any viewers I can get, I appreciate, because so much of this feels like me just shouting into the void as I'm doing this for myself. So if anybody else can get some enjoyment out of this, that's great. But yeah, the Reddit posts seem to miss the fact that, or let me put it this way. A lot of the Reddit comments seemed to think that what happened was that Dick Tree said he would do it, didn't do it, and then I got salty and said I would do it. When what actually happened, and I think it was better explained in the Kotaku article than the Verge one, was that Dick Tree said he would do it, started trolling people instead, and then I said I'd do it as a response to the trolling, and then Dick Tree got salty. At least that's the way I prefer to think about it. I'd prefer not to think that I wasn't getting salty, that I was being provoked. You know, maybe that still falls under the definition of salty, but, you know, whatever. Ultimately, it comes down to F Dick Tree. I am definitely not, excuse me, not getting good variants this morning. Rez says, the Verge article didn't mention the trolling at all, really, more that you, quote, took it upon yourself, unquote. I really just liked your motivation and dedication to expressing your disdain for Dick Tree. Yeah, honestly, I think I've gotten more positive feedback about that. The comment that I made than the achievement itself. That was my first item drop of the day. Rez asks, is this the optimal area to snag baddies or just randomly chosen? Well, according to the monster location guide I'm using from GameFAQs, which is not 100% accurate, this is the best place to look for Liliths. Like, they only appear on Mount Ordeals here, but the summit has 3 encounters with Liliths out of 8, as opposed to the lower levels have 2 out of 8 have Liliths. But we've got this formation here, we've got the formation with 1 Lilith alone, and we've got the formation with 2 Liliths. Whereas the earlier floors of this dungeon, I think they just have the Lilith and 2 red bones and the single Lilith. Rez says, why only go for Liliths? Because Liliths are the things that drop the Lilith Rod, which is the item I'm hunting for. So killing anything else is a waste of time. I just want the Lilith Rod to drop. Which will happen with 95% confidence when my counter here reaches 3,833. And I'm trying to do 50 per stream. So you can divide that out and see how many dozens of hours it will take to get 95% confidence. Fra, if I'm reading that right, looks like I am, asks, what are you playing the game on? This is an original Final Fantasy II US 1.0 cart in an original Super Nintendo, plugged into an AV to HDMI converter, plugged into a capture card, an Elgato to be specific, plugged into my computer and TV. I've got my original Super Nintendo controller, whose L and R buttons seem to be wearing a bit. They don't always make great contact. I should have another one. I don't know how worn that one is. But I don't expect this controller to die on me any second or anything like that. Oh boy, another Ether 1. So yeah, at this point I'm still hunting for item drops. So I'm fighting Liliths because they have a drop I need. Then it's back to the moon for the other 5 items I need. I believe it's 5. I will probably hit level 99 before I get all 5 of those, so I won't need to grind to level 99. And then I beat the boss and beat the game because I'll have 100%ed it. I will have gotten every item, opened every chest, done all the optional stuff. Like I got the spoon, I got all the summons. Out Excalibur, all that good stuff. So I really just need these last 6 items and beating the boss. And level 99, which I will get, which I expect to get well before I have all the items. Yeah, I'm well behind the curve for Lilith. Like, at this point, I would be lucky to get 45, let alone 50 in an hour. But I'm going for 50 anyway, so I'll just go over an hour. People will have to deal with it. kind of... It's actually kind of awkward, and I don't know if I'm even doing the right thing or not, but... I try to limit it to an hour, just for the sake of the VODs. Because all these go up as YouTube episodes. And I hate to have, you know, a 3-hour episode go up every day. Because nobody can sit and watch that. But by the same token, the actual live streams seem to do better when they're longer. So if I wanted more of an audience during the live stream, I ought to go longer. But that would alienate anybody watching the VODs after the fact. So I'm kind of torn between two masters here. Deep Grey One asks, would a Phoenix Down work on a Lilith? They are flagged as undead. So, which is why you can't cast Life 2 to revive them. And thus exploit the Life 2 thing for a bunch of kills per battle. I haven't tried using a life potion on them to kill them because I can kill them with, like, any physical attack. But I will experiment next one I get. Since I have life potions aplenty. I tried casting Death on one to see if it would kill and revive, which you can see happen in Final Fantasy VI. I was hoping that would count as a kill and revive, and I could just spam Death over and over. But it just misses them. They're just immune to it. So that put a kibosh on that plan real quick. Alright, let's try Life Potion on a Lilith. Does nothing. So there you go, Phoenix Down does not work on Lilith. Although now I'm wondering if cures work on them. I'm not going to use a Cure 3, I'll use a Cure 2 to see if it does anything. It does damage. It is undead. I guess it's just not part of FF4 to have life spells insta-kill undead things. They probably just have immunity to instant death. But yeah, there's no need for any of those shenanigans, since at this point I can kill them quite easily. It's not like they're a massive threat or anything. Which is why I've just been leveling up Rydia solo. Speaking of which... yeah, she's still the lowest level character I have. And honestly, she's gonna be the best person for the job no matter what, because she's got the multi-target attacks. Like, Pen could multi-target with ninja magic, but he'd run out of MP because I can't underflow his MP. So that would be annoying. But yeah, I'm not surprised that Phoenix Downs don't work. Because in FF5, it was coded to work. It's like if you watched my 4-job Fiesta, you can see it with the stone enemies. It's you use the item on the enemy, and they're scripted to auto counter with a self-killing move. I think it was called Darkness. So it was not a property of the item or a property of being undead or whatever. It was a scripted counter in the monster's AI. Which is kind of a hacky workaround to make it work. So I'm not at all surprised that that hacky workaround was their initial way to implement it. And then in FF6 it became, you know, a trait of undead that life spells kill them, alongside the cure spells damage them, and drain is reversed. You know, it was just an additional property of being undead. And then the reason that you can kill the Phantom Train with the Phoenix Down is because it's, even though it's a boss, it doesn't have the heavy flag, which is a flag a lot of bosses have that, among other things, prevent instant death effects. Yeah, this is definitely a bad variance. It's like, even if I was only going for 45, I'd have 6 minutes to get 4 kills. That's not gonna happen. Well, just to prove me wrong, the game has allowed me to hit 245 well under an hour. But I'm definitely not getting 5 more in 4 minutes. But that is yet more evidence that this game runs on spite. Well, if I can get one more in the next 2 minutes, the game will be super spiteful. And just absolutely just be setting out to contradict me at every turn. Yep. So after all that, it did give me 50 within an hour. So how far away is she from level? She's halfway there. Well, that will do it for this morning. I will be back tonight for another 50 kills. And another no Lilith Rod. Rez says lol at this game runs on spite. It clearly does. All evidence indicates that to be true. At any rate, as I said, I'll be back tonight. Until then, take care.